John Howard, he's a badass.
John Howard was an advocate for prisoners in the late 1700s.
He wanted to look at prisons to see the state, the safety and the health of the inmates.
He pushed the boundaries on what was normalized.
John Howard is an activist of change who had the people with the best interest in mind.
Badass, badass, badass.
He stepped out of the norms and he did things that were quote unquote not society normal.
He really embodied kind of this Enlightenment era.
He had this like time in the war where he spent time in prison, and then he got back to the UK, and the government was like, hey John, we're gonna give you this nice cushy little job overseeing the prisons, but we don't really expect you to do anything.
After seeing what he saw and then reporting back to British Parliament, I think a lot of eyes were opened, and the government level didn't really understand how bad it was.
John Howard was my hero.
John Howard was an advocate for essentially humanizing the marginalized population that we work with.
I think John is a guy that inspired a lot of people to see where the system was broken.
He was
The original
Badass. He was a badass. He was a badass. Badass.
He really set the tone of who we are and what we do. I think John Howard is this strong.
Who comes to mind when thinking about social justice is all the people that I work with that I'm very grateful to know.
It's nice to know that you have colleagues to fall back on.
I work in healthcare and then also in social justice, so I think that that's pretty badass.
Everyone that works for John Howard, is there for
The same goal at the end of the day. We all have very different ways of approaching that goal.
I know it gives me a lot of satisfaction and I really love what I do.
There's definitely good days and bad days. It's positive. Everyone within the agency has a passion to be there. Working with the people that I work with every day, it feels very satisfying.
It's all the people that I know sort of behind the scenes that don't get the spotlight. They're not doing it for any other reason than just trying to make the world a better place.
It's a fun time helping people in need, and they're awesome people.
You get to be challenged, you get a chance to grow, you get a chance to shift. That's profound. It's a great experience. It's what we're here to do.
John Howard
Was a badass.
And so are we.
Badass.